I'm Bernie with Country Place Greenhouse, located directly across from the Lebanon Springfield Airport on Highway 55. Of course, this time of the year is the time of year for poinsettias. Everybody's looking at poinsettias, and we have several. Now, we just have a sampling up here in retail that we have for you to come and buy. The red poinsettia has been a favorite of most people over the years. This is a dark red, prestige red. It's called Prestige, and it's been the better one for us for several years. Now, this year has been sort of a little bit of a difficult year in that we have not had as much sunshine. It takes sunshine to bring more color to them. You'll notice a few green leaves on them, but the green is sort of in the festive spirit of Christmas anyways, so it does work out fairly well. Now, we do have, besides the red, we also have one that's called Marble, which is a sort of an edging on it, and then it has a pink in the center. That's kind of an attractive plant. It's different, a little different. Then we have the white. It actually looks a little yellow, but it is called white. That's a Freedom White. And then, of course, we have the pink poinsettia, and the pink is a real nice one in that it does provide a little bit of a different color for your Christmas decoration. But back to the red, we have the red, and we have olive pots in two different sizes. This is a big pot. This is a 9-inch pot. It has 3 pots to it, 3 plants to it, and as opposed to the 6-inch, which have just one. All the plants are pinched. And pinch, what we mean by pinched is that we go in the summertime, when we get them in, we pinch it off here, and then it branches out down below at each one of the nodes. And that gives you a fuller plant. There's some people that just grow a single stem, which just gives you one great big bract, but we don't do any of those. Our demand is more for this variety and what we do. Now, another plant that we have, these plants come in different colors. And they make a good house plant. And it would be a wonderful addition as far as a Christmas gift to someone. A plant, their cost is $6. If you want the foil to go on them, it'd be another $1.50. But that's really, I think they're really, really pretty. And it's something different we tried this year. We'll probably keep growing them, and that they are a good house plant and something that you can use throughout the year. Okay, now we'll go ahead. I want to switch subject here. We're going to go ahead and talk a little bit about what we're doing with some cannas. And one thing, just going by this, we have this kale that we had. We had put some grasses in with it. The grass don't look so swoof right now, but the kale has turned out really well. Over in Lebanon, we had used the kale in the planters over there, and they have held up quite well throughout the harsh weather, really. So I'm quite pleased with them. We have some kale that looks like cabbage, and then we have this kale here that's a little frilly and kind of different colors. It's got a white one and all. Now you see some pansies here. We're getting ready for pansies. Now this is actually going to be used over in Springfield in the spring or early spring, and we'll have the pansy ready for them at that time. Now, this year, what we did with our cannas now, these cannas we cut off, and you can see one starting to grow back again, but we're going to divide them off, and a lot of people have not been digging their cannas. You can get by a lot of times if you have it up close to your house, or you mulch it really well, and you take care of it that way, and you have the right place in your yard. It all is a lot of different factors. Last year, a lot of the cannas froze out. This year, I don't know, but they're quite a spectacular plant. Some of you, when you went by and saw them on our porch display that we had, they were really, really spectacular. They grow about 5-6 foot tall. You'd like to put them in the background or as an individual planting out in a yard, and it's something that I think is quite unique and has got quite a different kind of bloom on it. Of course, they do have to be deadheaded in order for you to go ahead and keep them flowering. I can't show you the deadheading right now, but that's something that if you come and buy some in the spring, we'll be glad to work with you and show you how to go ahead and deadhead cannas. Now we're going to go down to another greenhouse and take a look at some plants that we're getting started down there. Okay, what we have here is we have the plants that we're starting for spring. We got to go ahead, even though spring is a long ways off, we have to start plants quite a ways in advance, anywhere from actually a year to 6 months in advance for a lot of plants. A lot of these are calibrachoas, and then we have other plants here, different things that we put inside the different pots that we grow. But we start them out, they're just nothing but little cuttings really. You can see that's a pretty small cutting, but that will go ahead and develop a root system within a short time. In about 3 weeks time, it will develop a root system, and we have to keep it on this bench that's warm. We try to keep the bench at about 70 degrees, and 70 to 75 degrees is the ideal temperature. And then we have this mist system overhead, which we can turn on, and it mists them down. It puts a real fine watery mist over the top of them, which will keep them rigid and full of water while they're developing their root system. So it is a process that we go through each year, and starting out sticking cuttings. And we have some over here that we stuck. Oh, these were ivies that we stuck a couple weeks ago, but you can see what I'm talking about. See, they've already started to put out roots. See, that develops the roots off the node right there. So these can come off the heat really right now, and that would be fine. These are some of the ivies different types of ivies that we'll use in the combination pots that we put out. On the far table over here, we're not going to walk over there too, it's kind of hard to get over there. We have geraniums started, and you can see we have quite a few geraniums started up through there, all the different colors, but those we start fresh, disease-free stock every year, and that is important. We don't keep a geranium over, because there is a potential that you might have some type of disease or something, and this way they're guaranteed to be fresh and to be in the right condition. And they're starting to root now. They callus on the bottom a little bit, and on the very bottom of the stem, and then they develop their root system. They've started to root now. It's been planted for about a week and a half, 2 weeks. And of course right now too, we also have to keep a fungicide on a lot of the stuff. We've had such cloudy weather that this has posed a problem for us, and going ahead and keeping disease out of the plants, because botrytis is a very favorite fungus that likes to get into your plants at this time, and so we do put the fungicide on them to keep them clean as best we possibly can. Plus too, it has a lot to do with air circulation and all, but it has more to do with our good old sun. We need to have sunshine. Sunshine is not only important for our disposition, but it's also very important for plants. Plants like it sunny, and that's just the way they are. Okay, now we'll take a look at some other plants that we're doing. Here is we have ferns that we're starting in production, and we grow them in the roof. We have a lot of ferns started this year. These are a Boston fern, and they will be huge ferns by the time springtime comes. We're getting to move down some from another range into this range. This range will be a little warmer for them, and hang them in the ceiling where they can grow. They do grow very well. We have other plants in here. We have some spikes way down at the far end. You see there's some ferns down there on the ground, but we have some spikes and different things that we're starting and getting involved with for spring. So spring is a big time for us and getting ready for that. And of course we got to keep the place warm, and we do use wood heat, and it's a constant battle this year to go ahead and keep enough wood to go ahead and work out for the particular plants. I'd like to thank you for listening to our program today, and hope you come out and stop, chat with us about the poinsettias. We'll be glad to help you out, and also hope that you go ahead and have any questions you have concerning the spring crop or some new crops you'd like to see us grow. We're always looking for new items that to add to our total mix. I'm Bernie with Country Place, directly across from Lebanon Springfield Airport. Thank you, and have a Merry Christmas.